Okay, everyone, it's a little different video that I'm going to be putting up today. There's no machining, no projects, just wanted to reach out and make sure, hope everyone is well and continues to stay well. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and I don't think any of us could ever imagine this taking place right now. So stay inside and avoid, unnecessary contact with people. Be extra careful, and that's it. So the move is kind of on hold right now, and I'm an essential employee, so I have to go to work every day, unfortunately. But the shop that I work in is located in Queens County, New York City. So it's New York City is not only the most number of cases in the country, but the most number of cases within New York City happens to be in Queens. So it's like I'm like right in the hot spot of this. So it's kind of crazy. So my wife and I decided it wouldn't be the prudent thing to do to be traveling back and forth, moving our stuff right now. So we decided let's just sit tight and let things calm down a bit, and hopefully flatten out, as they say. And so I'm kind of frustrating because I got lots of stuff I want to get moving, and it's just everything's kind of on hold right now. But I guess in light of everything, if that's the worst that we have to deal with, I guess we're ahead of the game. So I took my video camera to work the other day, and I figured I would shoot a video of what the streets look like in Queens, the complete stark difference what they normally are. So the video that I have after this here, it's just I just let the camera run, had it sitting on my dashboard, and the route that I'm going to show you is not what I normally take, because it's just too many traffic lights. It's residential, it's commercial, retail, that kind of stuff, people shopping and everything, and it's just way too long of a drive. But I decided to go this way and show everybody. And what in a normal day going home would take about an hour to an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. I get home now about 20, maybe 25 minutes. So yeah, what a difference in traffic, right? So all right, so I kind of narrate along the way a little bit. I'm not a tour guide by any stretch of the imagination, although I'm pretty familiar with Queens. I was born and grew up in Queens. So all right, so sit back and enjoy it, fast forward it, skip to the end, whatever you want to do. So but stay safe, everyone. Yeah, all right. All right, normally this is all backed up waiting for the light here, but as you can see, just coming right up to the light, and we'll try to make this here. Yeah, usually it's like 2 or sometimes 3 lights to get over this. And there's another spot here, which is here we are on Queens Boulevard, and This is a major thoroughfare with lots of businesses and residential apartments usually on top of the businesses. And this is, at this time, this is usually packed here. There's usually hundreds of cars on this road, so it's pretty quiet. Now this is like Woodside, so as we go further east, we're gonna go into towards Elmhurst. Elmhurst seems to be the epicenter of Queens. And Queens is got the highest concentration or the highest number of cases in New York City right now. The borough of Bronx is catching up though pretty quickly. Gotta be careful here because the mayor of New York City has got this safety campaign limiting the speed limit to 25 miles an hour, and we got speed cameras all over the place. So here's a red light camera coming up at this crosswalk. See, there's like nobody here. It's a beautiful day out too. It's 62 degrees. So far this is probably the nicest, or one of the nicest days so far this spring. And as you can see, there's hardly anybody out. Very eerie. So coming up on this intersection here, Broadway, that's where the Elmhurst Hospital is, and I'm not really going to go down there, but now over here to the left is the Queens Center shopping mall will be coming up. As you can see, there's not much happening here. You'll see a few people on lines waiting for buses and a couple of places here. If you can see to the right here, you got Popeye's fast food, and there's about 3 or 4 people waiting online, all keeping their distance. Crazy stuff, crazy. I say generally this took me, what, 3 or 4 minutes to travel this. Normally would have been about 15 minutes for me to get this far. And so To the right here, this used to be St. John's Hospital, but they've closed that down several years ago. It's condominiums now. Right here, we're passing under the world famous Long Island Expressway. It's also known as the world's longest parking lot. And as you can see, that little radar speed sensor there is nailing me for being a scofflaw and doing 36 miles an hour. Oof. Okay. Yeah, we actually have some cars here. School safety, so NYPD is, I think they said on the news the other day, nearly half of the force is called in sick. What is this guy doing? I guess that wasn't green enough for him. All right, there you go. And that's how we drive in New York. A handful of cars on the road, and I get the one in front of me that's no clue what the hell's going on. I guess things are turning back to normal. Actually, the governor did announce that the past 2 days there's been a decrease in number of not only cases but hospitalizations and deaths, which is a good thing. Just not really sure how accurate and what kind of statistics or how they report stuff. Seems like data is always manipulated somehow to enhance whatever point they're trying to or spin they want to put on stuff. But yeah, once again here, over to the left, I don't know if you could see, to the far left here, there's a little, like, I guess we call it a park over here. It's not my definition of a park, but a little area where they got some benches and people would normally be sitting there, and it would be pretty crowded. And there's only I wouldn't even say a dozen people in there, and they're just keeping their distance, which is good. It's just such a different sight than what I'm used to. Now, I usually don't take this way home just because of the amount of traffic and the lights and the cameras. You know, between the speed cameras and the red light cameras, it's real easy to get jammed up. So most of the time, I'll take either the Grand Central Parkway, which goes past LaGuardia Airport, and the home of the World's Fair, 1964 World's Fair, and the Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium there. So that's where they hold the U.S. Open. But I figured I'd give. This is more of a. This particular view is more of a, I guess, a surreal kind of look. Coming up on the right, there's another one of these little park areas. This has actually got grass and some trees in it, so I can relate to that being a park more. And you can see it's empty. There's like a handful of people. Very sad. getting closer to, here we are, we're traveling east on the Queens Boulevard. It's also known as 25. This intersection here has got another red light camera. There's probably about 6 red light cameras along this way here, and they'll nail you. They'll nail you. Just gotta be careful. You gotta know where you are, and while you're approaching these, you gotta be mindful of if there's anybody right on your tail, because you don't want to go through you don't want to eat the light and get a summons in the mail. Then again, you want to make sure that the guy behind you is going to be stopping too. So this is getting into like this is like Kew Gardens, Forest Hills, actually, I'd say. Forest Hills, and we're heading into Kew Gardens. Let's see here. So we're getting close to the turnoff where I'll be going left. I'll be taking a left and getting onto the Grand Central Parkway. And, I mentioned earlier that's the way I usually go, but I get on back further. So when I get on at this point, this will be past the World's Fair and the tennis stadium and LaGuardia Airport. So kind of up ahead to the left there, that's the courthouse over there, and generally on a regular day there'd be hundreds, if not thousands, of people all around here, flooded with people. You know, we have the fountain over there, and people would be hanging out there, having their lunch, having a coffee break, whatever. And this is all of this construction is part of a massive undertaking here. They've been removing the old highway overpasses and rebuilding them, and things are still going on here though. The construction's still going on. Oh, wait a minute, they changed the roads here over here. Let's see, we want to go to the Grand Central here. Right down this hall. And this whole area, when I come in from the left here, this is a bottleneck, so it's usually an area that's jammed up and a frustrating point of the trip. So I'm gonna point out, I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to pick this up, but there's an electronic sign up ahead here that'll say, as you can see it up here, Cross Island Parkway. It's in 4 miles. It's telling us it's going to take us 6 minutes to get there. That is great. Usually I'll come on there, and that 4 minutes will take me anywhere between 12 to 22 minutes. So yeah, 12 to 22 minutes to travel 4 miles. So yeah, I think you'd get the picture of what this looks like. So this is down in the canyon here, and we'll open up. Yeah, this is usually just bumper to bumper. This is bumper to bumper the whole way. And you have to fight to maintain your spot. If you leave room to let one car slip in, you'll wind up going backwards. Cars will just keep cutting in front of you, and so it's kind of a nail biting driving technique. White knuckle on the wheel and that kind of stuff. So now to the right here, this is like Jamaica Estates area, and that's where it's like sort of the neighborhood where President Donald Trump grew up. So a little bit of history here. Alright, so now we're traveling eastbound on the Grand Central Parkway, so we're heading further out towards Long Island. We're still in Queens County here. Oh, look at this idiot. There you go. Alright, yeah. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys saw that guy. So yeah, and so New York City is comprised of 5 counties actually. We call them boroughs. You got Brooklyn and Queens, which is really part of the peninsula of Long Island, or connected to Long Island. Then you have like Manhattan, which that's New York City, where all the skyscrapers are, and Radio City and all that tourist stuff. And you got the Bronx, which sits north of Manhattan, and then all by itself, south of Manhattan, is Staten Island or Richmond County. So you got so like I say, we're still traveling in Queens, and we'll be going into Nassau County, which is we consider that Long Island, along with Suffolk County, which is further east. Well, Suffolk County would be like, I'm sure people heard of Montauk, and out there in the Hamptons, where all the ritzy who's who, everybody got their summer homes and mansions, the Vanderbilts and Estee Lauder, Billy Joel, and all those. Alright, so we'll be bailing off here. I didn't look at the time, but that was a breeze. So we'll be getting off at the Cross Island. Cross Island Parkway runs north and south, pretty much. And that takes you from the, obviously from the southern end of Queens to the northern end of Queens, or vice versa. And it's also like just about the dividing line between Queens County and Nassau County. So, the parkway itself kind of skirts over once and back and forth into Nassau and Queens County. So, but it's kind of like the dividing line, more or less. So here we go. All right, so we're traveling south now on the Cross Island.
once again, this, I can't tell you, this would be all bumper to bumper with a couple of pockets that would open up, only to get your hopes up to slow down again amongst the sea of red brake lights. I got about a 20-mile trip. In the morning it takes me about 20 minutes. And in the afternoon, right now with traffic like this, 20 to 25 minutes. On a normal day, it takes me anywhere between an hour and an hour and a half. So, as you can tell, quite a change here. Okay, so next point of interest, I guess, if you want to call it that, would be shortly is a sign for Nassau County. I don't know if you caught that. So we're going to be coming up onto on the left is Belmont Racetrack, which is obviously a home of the Belmont Stakes, and if you're into horse racing, that's like a really big deal. So to the left here right now, I don't know if you guys can see the way I got the camera positioned. I really can't be playing with it, but you really won't be able to see the racetrack itself, but the parking lot and the actual grandstand is off to the left. I don't think it's in the camera. They're also building, the structure they're building on the side here is going to be the future home of the New York Islanders hockey team. So, just in case you thought there wasn't enough traffic, let's put some more in here. One of the parking lots here for the racetrack, new car dealerships use that lot as like a, I guess like a warehousing or a storage area for new cars. So I don't know if you're able to see that. It's 63 degrees out, so it's a really nice day. Past couple of days were some damp, drizzly, just looked like it was nicer than it was until you went outside, you know. And, okay, so now we're coming up to another fork. So if you stay right, that takes you onto the Bell Parkway that heads back in towards Brooklyn and Kennedy Airport. And obviously I went to the left here again, and that this is going to be the Southern State Parkway, which is Nassau and Suffolk County, and that takes us, that'll take us pretty much out towards, I guess that would be like Islip or past Lindenhurst. So here we go. So yeah, we just came from that top overpass there by the Central Avenue Linden Boulevard sign. So now this is Nassau County. Bailing off here. This is where we'll exit off the Southern State Parkway, SSP. boy, everything fell over. So no right turns on red in this village here. Little side note about that is that in New York State you're allowed to make a right turn on red most of the part, unless where it's posted. New York City, there's no right turn on red except where it's allowed, so it's the opposite. And in this village here of Malvern, there's no right turn on red. So what happens is, if you get bagged for speeding here, and they have a couple of speed traps, this is one coming up to the left here, which will be going down, they usually give you about a 10 mile an hour leeway. It's 30 posted. You can do 40 and they won't stop you, but you know, you start going past that and they're gonna pull you over. So when you go to the town courthouse to pay the summons, and there's usually a bunch of people there. I know my buddy and I have been there a couple of times, and so the deal is they get everybody in the room and they say, whoever wants to plead the case down to a right turn on red, you know, you go in the other room and you pay the fine and you go on your way. It's less points on your license, so it's a no-brainer. Well, here's the thing. Because it's a village law and not a state law, like the state speed limit would be 30, right? The fine that you pay stays in the village because it's a village law that you broke. It wasn't a state law. So, kind of like small town politics, and you know, ways to fund their cause here. So I'm sure this ain't the only place that does stuff like that. All right, so we're gonna be pulling over, and our trip is just about done. And that's it. Well, I hope you guys weren't too bored. It was good talking with you on the way home. And it'll be something a little bit different. Nice day out, cheer everybody up. And didn't have to look at brake lights. So that was a good thing. So, okay, everyone, stay well. And talk to you soon.